Hawks and Bucks. Not sure if Trae Young's going to play. We know Giannis Antetokounmpo will not play, although his injury not as serious. Did not have structural damage. We'll hope at some point he can get back in that series. Celebration tonight in Phoenix, and a tough way for a magnificent season for the Clippers to come to an end. Final score in Game 6, Suns 130, Clippers 103. Phoenix wins it in 6 games. For our producer Tim Corrigan, director Jimmy Moore, and our outstanding ESPN crew, and of course for Jeff, Mark, and Rachel, Mike Green saying Sports Center coming up next, and we will have full coverage of the Western Conference Trophy presentation. That's next as the Suns make it to the NBA Finals.
Phoenix, Monty Williams and Chris Paul, they're headed to the NBA Finals. They want the O'Brien. They had to win this one first. They did. Back to the Staples Center. And Eric Smith.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court for a special presentation. Please welcome ESPN's Rachel Nichols.
Thank you so much. The Phoenix Suns, this franchise reaching its first NBA Finals in nearly 30 years. What a run. It is my honor to present the Western Conference Finals trophy to Team Governor Robert Sarver. Congratulations. Robert, this team has come so far, so fast from where you were just a couple years ago. What is it that makes this group so special?
Well, it's been an incredible journey, and I think it starts with a lot of our younger players who developed and became winners during the bubble. And from there, with Chris and Jay and everyone joining us, it's been accelerated, I think, faster than most of our fans would have believed, but we're here. And I do want to give a shout out on behalf of all of us to the best fans in the NBA in the Valley.
And Robert, you entrusted the leadership of this team to James Jones and Monty Williams. Why were they the right men for this job?
Yeah, I mean, I just can't say enough about the job that James and Monty has done in terms of setting the culture for the organization, in terms of making the decisions on players, and in terms of building the team. My hat's off to the tenacity of our players, the competitiveness of our players, and the loyalty to the Phoenix Suns. On behalf of all the Suns fans, I want to congratulate and thank them. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this is not our journey. Our journey is to bring that Larry O'Brien back to Phoenix. That's our journey.
Yeah, you, my friend. It's been a long time. 16 years. Tens of thousands of hours in the gym when no one is watching, Chris. I saw the tears before. What does this mean to you to take in this moment when you think back on all those times?
Man, I'm just so happy for all the people around me. You know what I mean? And to do it here in LA with the Clippers, this is my family too. I gave 6 hard years to the Clippers. We fought hard. A lot of these fans, Billy Crystal, that's my family. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So to do it here against a team that I got the utmost respect for, I'll always be a Clipper. I love these fans. You know what I mean? But this crew right here, this crew right here, this game right here, man, since day one, they welcomed me with open arms. Coach, we did this 10 years ago in New Orleans,
yes.
And we still got a lot of work to do, but we're going to enjoy this. And my family, up top. I love y'all. Y'all see him right there? That's my game. Straight up, 16 years of this. 16 years, surgeries, hard work, losses, bad losses, but we're going to enjoy tonight. We're going to enjoy it.
You've talked in this playoffs how a lot of people thought when you went to Oklahoma City, okay, well, he's just going to finish his career out that way without another bite at the apple of tasting something like this.
Yeah, Rach, I'm going to tell you, I write something on my shoes every game. It say, Can't Give Up Now. Mary Mary got a song called Can't Give Up Now. I listened to it the day I got traded to OKC. That's why I write it on my shoes every game. Straight up.
Chris, I did want to ask you, though, about leaving the Thunder. OKC was good enough to give you some input into where you wanted to go next. What is it about these guys? What is it about this team that you said, Phoenix, I want Phoenix?
It was a lot of things. Willie Green, my brother, James Jones, we worked at the Union together. Coach Monty, I played for him already. But the big reason was the light-skinned guy right here, number 1, Devin Booker.
Well, why don't
Devin
you give
Booker,
him that
he is a dog. Go and get it, Book.
That's not going. Oh, okay.
You got to make sure they're filming, right?
I swear.
Absolutely. You know, the other night, Chris Paul called you the oldest 24-year-old he's ever met. He says you are an old soul and you were ready for this moment. How were you, to borrow a word from your coach, how did you show so much poise?
I mean, that's what Coach preaches every day. It's poise. Obviously, he knows we're an emotional team. You know, we get into it, we get after it. You know, so there's nights like that. But, you know, when we channel our energy the right way, we can make big things happen like tonight.
You had quite the game, including taking another shot to the nose. You went without the mask for most of the night tonight. What was it like for you to get up off that floor knowing that this trophy could be there at the end if you did?
I mean, this is what we set out to get tonight. So we didn't want to go back to Phoenix without it. We didn't want to do a Game 7. We want to do it here tonight.
Look, I know what Robert Sarver just said, right?
Yeah.
He says this job is not done.
No, not at all.
So how do you prepare for the NBA Finals, Devin Booker?
I mean, we sit back, we get some rest, we watch Atlanta, Milwaukee, and just see who our next matchup is and prepare that way.
Well, congrats to you.
Appreciate it, Rachel.
Congrats to the team behind you. Congrats to the fans back in Phoenix. They're just getting started. Back to you, Scott Van Pelt.
Rachel, thank you very much. 3 little things on a team that took a big step. Phoenix, the first team in the NBA history to reach the finals after a playoff drought of at least a decade. They hadn't made it back since losing the 2010 conference finals, owned the worst record by any team over the previous 5 years. But all that helps you get better. They've been the best road team during the regular season. They've now clinched all 3 of their series on the road, which includes not 1 but 2 in the Staples Center, the first team in NBA history to clinch multiple series in a postseason in the same building on the road. And the man you just heard from, I had a feeling he would really show out in this stage, and why wouldn't he? He's a star. Devin Booker leading Phoenix in scoring more than 27 a game. Makes the Suns the first team since '77 to reach the NBA Finals, in which their leading scorer was in his very first postseason. But Chris Paul, the old head who provides the steady hand, becomes the closeout king. Dropped 37 in the series clincher against Denver. 41 tonight, becoming the oldest player in postseason history with 35 points in consecutive closeout games in a postseason. The previous oldest, pretty nice company to be keeping, and that's a hell of a list right there. He now trumps Michael Jordan, which I know would please him to no end, the Wake Forest guy topping the Tar Heel. And once again, we welcome in Stephen A. Smith and Michael Wilbon to the show. And gentlemen, I'll begin with Chris Paul. I feel it's only appropriate. And Michael, how best to frame what it is that he provided this group? They had never been in the playoffs as constructed, and he obviously helps lead them. How do you frame what you saw from him in this evening?
Scott, I got to go back to the beginning of it when he first knew he was going to be traded, and it's know-how, it's poise, it's intellect, it's toughness, all of those things. There's so many more, but I think at least those few sort of represent all that Chris Paul is, and he really wanted to come here come to here, meaning Phoenix, of course. And I probably shouldn't tell this story. I'm going to tell it quickly because it's an off-the-record story. If Chris gets mad at me later, I'll put some money in a little jar.
It's fine.
But, we're working on a project, a Chris Paul generated project, and so we're doing it on Zooms in the summer and in the early fall. And during one of the Zooms at the end, Chris says, "What are you going to do now? We're done." I go, "I don't know. I'll go out and hit some golf balls." He says, "Nah, I need a favor." I said, "What?" He goes, "Can you help me look for a house in Scottsdale?" I'm like, why would a guy who's already in L.A. with his family need a house in Scottsdale? And I said that, and he just pauses and he says, "Think, Mike, think." And I said, it took me a while, and I went, oh my God, this could happen. And what he talked about down there is the order that he talked about it. I mean, Booker, there were all those people involved, but Devin Booker was the big part. He, like the late, great Kobe Bryant, looked at Devin Booker very early on, and they each saw something that drew them. They loved everything about him. And so Chris wanted to play with Devin Booker, and he thought this could work. He thought it could work before anybody else thought it could work, other than maybe Devin. And so, but all of those things characterized the way Chris felt about coming to the Phoenix Suns at the beginning of the season.
You know, Mike Wilbon isn't the only one with an off-the-court story about Chris Paul. As you well know, Scott, Michael Wilbon, I executive produced a project, Why Not Us, with Chris Paul for ESPN Plus earlier this year. And a lot of times we found ourselves talking off the record about what he felt about Devin Booker. And let me tell you something about Chris Paul. He's not well liked by a few people in the NBA because he's an acquired taste, Scott. He's a guy that gets in your face, in your mug. He's incredibly demanding. He pulls no punches. He holds you accountable. That ain't for everybody, but here's what you need to know about him. As much as he's not liked by some people, he's loved more by others and universally respected by everyone because of his leadership ability. And so when you see him with his teammates in Phoenix and you see the way that they have this level of adulation and affection for him, what that means is they've bought in. They recognized a long time ago that this guy that is an acquired taste, if we acquire that taste, we might just be champions one day. That's the kind of talk that they were having during this season when they were one of the top two teams in the Western Conference, and it came out tonight to reach fruition. This is about the leadership of Chris Paul. A game 6, a closeout game, fresh off of Paul George dropping 41. What does he do? Does he answer with 25 points and 15 assists? No, he drops 41.
Real answer.
With 8 assists in 35 minutes with 0 turnovers. I'm sorry. It is the most special performance of his career, and it happened on the same night that this man is going to the NBA Finals for the first time in his 16-year career.
I think his greatest performance, not his best performance.
Yes, his greatest.
But his greatest performance coming here, getting him to the finals, fulfilling all of this. And he stresses over it now. Don't be misled. I mean, he wanted this, wants this badly. And so for him to make this happen here, and as Booker said, I asked Booker once, what is it like now that you got to be accountable to this guy? And he smiled, and Booker said, it ain't for everybody.
Right.
And you guys, I mean, he's a demanding dude.
And you guys both well know that whole disrespect or chip on the shoulder thing can be a played out routine. But he's fueled by those who believe that his best time was behind him. And I think he demonstrated clearly tonight what he still possesses. And now they have at least 4 more games to prove that he could be a champion, a minted champion once and for all. As always, gentlemen, your time appreciated. We'll talk again when the finals arrive, all right?
All right.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
I appreciate it. There's a yin to that yang. On the other side of the joy, there's the emotions of Reggie Jackson, who visited with us the other night. He is fueled by confidence and a passion for this game, and his season came to an end in Game 6.
My 10th year's been my best year. It was the most challenging year, the most fun year. Not sure when you're going to play. Ups and downs, guys being injured. Still finding my way in this locker room. First thing I told those guys is thank you for saving me. And I appreciate them. I appreciate every guy in that locker room. I appreciate call for getting on that phone last year at the end of the season when it was time to do a buyout with Detroit. I'm thankful for everything I've experienced being here. This city making me feel home. This organization welcoming me, my quirks, my strengths, my weaknesses. I'm not here today without this team. I'm not still playing without this team, so